Shalom, beloved. How are you? It's been so long, hasn't it? It really has. I am alive. Yes, as my famous line is, I'm still alive. And by the mercy of Hashem, indeed. And so thankful to be able to once again speak with you, share with you, and yes. And also, once again, any comments, messages that have been written. I haven't had the opportunity, I haven't had the chance to really go through that. And actually, so yeah, so I just want to say, if you sent something, don't think that I've ignored it. Just have had a lot going on, good things, and also some of the most difficult things in my life. Yes, I may have said this once before, and it's probably a continuation of the same thing going on. And the only reason why I don't share it in detail is because it's not the time yet. There may be a time for that. I also, you know, there also is kind of a fine line. I feel like, as someone who is, you know, I'm not obviously I'm not a scholar, not some great teacher, but as someone who loves to share what God has blessed me with, I feel it's a good thing to share as much as we can, but I also, it's kind of foreign to me how on YouTube some people, they share everything, like every single thing going on in their life, and I don't know about that. You know, I think there has to be a kind of a limit there. But because, you know, so many of you write such encouraging things, and even though I haven't met so many who have written, I haven't met you, I just feel like, you know, you're family, and so, and of course, spiritually speaking, you are, so of course there's things I want to share. But this is not the time, I believe, if that is to be in the future. But I want to thank you so much for your prayers. I have felt them. I think some of you who watch, yes, you are aware of what's going on, because some of you who watch, you talk to me. You know, yeah, you talk to me. No, I don't have a special landline. It's just that some people have actually met in person that watch. But again, you know, that's something I'd like to do, live stream. Someone was telling me about how to do that, so I'll have to try that. Okay, enough going on about all that good stuff. Just wanted to say, just have a welcoming hello, shalom, hola, namaste, and yeah. Oh, I know what I was going to tell you. Okay, so for Sukkot, my family and I were so blessed. We got to celebrate Sukkot, at least the end of Sukkot, in Simchat Torah, with some very precious friends, family, spiritual family of ours. And you can actually see and hear, you can hear me singing, playing the harp. It was recorded, they recorded it, so yeah, I'm gonna put in the description box the links. You can hear those and check out their channel too. There's some really great stuff on there. I'm not it's not my congregation, but it's a place that we really love, that we were so blessed to be invited to go to, and it was really cool that it got recorded. So yeah, just want to share that with you. And I'll leave the links in the description box below. Yeah, and what else was I going to say? Oh, I was going to share with you. I know the Torah portion for this Shabbat was about Noach, and it's amazing. I mean, the whole Bible's amazing, but the story of how, I mean, just the whole development of the story, you know, what Noah went through, what his family went through, the fact that everything was wiped out, it's devastating, but just the whole thing is just one of the greatest stories, the history of all time. Of course, I know that people who believe in the theory of evolution would disagree, but it is interesting. It is kind of funny when I hear, whether it's in a documentary or someplace, you'll hear something like, a scientist that believes in the theory of evolution saying, now we speculate that this area where we found these bones, it got covered up by some kind of flood, but not that kind of flood, not the one you're thinking of, not Noah's flood. We don't say that, but my family and I, we joke about this because it is kind of funny. Obviously no one in the world has all the answers, but to believe that one has all the answers, that's really putting yourself in a box. And so for me, I humbly can say I don't have all the answers, and God has made his presence known in my life in a very tangible way, so I cannot say no to the idea of creation. I just can't. So with that, I wanted to share with you what I had been pondering yesterday. Yesterday was a very difficult day for me, and yesterday I sat down in the dirt, yes, watching my horses, and because I was watching my horses run around, and as I was sitting there in the dirt, I just started to, just started messing with the dirt with my hands, just feeling it, and because I had a lot on my mind, and somehow it just kind of became like this therapy, I guess, without me even realizing it. I'm just grabbing the dirt and rubbing it, and as I was doing that, I started to think about when it says in the good book, it says in the Word that God, Hashem, he created Adam from Adamah. That's how we have the word Adam, from the dust, from the earth, from the ground. Created him from the dirt, and of course he breathed his spirit, he breathed life into him, and that's how we have Adam, the first man, first human being. And then I thought about the story, and of course also the Brit Chadashah, where Yeshua takes, I don't think it was dirt, I think it was mud. I'm trying to remember the story. So if you know the story, in the reference, where he takes the mud and he spits on it or something, and he puts it on the blind man's eyes, and then the blind man washes and he's able to see. So I was thinking about the significance of dirt and moisture, wetness. And then, of course, my family, we rolled our Torah scroll. We're a little bit behind, but we rolled our scroll today, and so I was cantering the beginning of the Torah, which I've sang before many times on here. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim et haaretz. And then I went through the rest of it, and I of course did that the first 5 verses. And I realized something else too that's just really startling in a really good way. Because it says, in the beginning God created the heavens and earth. The earth was unformed and void. Darkness was on the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God hovered over the surface of the water. Of course, and then God said, let there be light, and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So there was evening and there was morning one day. And I've shared this before, pretty sure on here, about the significance of this for us, for each of us individually. Because before Hashem comes into our life, before Yeshua comes into our life, we are this unformed, void, I'm paraphrasing, earth, but we're just dirt, just ground. And then, but God's Spirit is always there, hovering, waiting on us, hovering over us. It says it's hovered over the surface of the water. Okay, so I guess like I think of the water, Yeshua as living water, of course, and him in the water, yeah, living water hovering over us. And it says God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. So then when Hashem comes into our life, there is light, and we are separated from the darkness. Of course, darkness is still there surrounding us, but He has become this shield. No matter what happens to us, no matter what happens to our body, to whatever, He is going to keep our soul, with our relationship with Him, is going to keep our soul protected. So what does this have to do with the dirt? So I guess I did explain a little bit, but the other thing being that, so while I was messing with the dirt, while I was playing with the dirt, that's what it's very simple, but really what I thought about was because some of the dirt was hard and crusty, but if I dug far enough from a rain we'd had, the dirt was moist and wet, and I could make something out of it. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you're playing with dirt and sand, and you make sandcastles out of the wet sand, wet dirt. Some people like me still do that. So let's never grow up. Anyways, you make stuff, and so us being this dirt, without bringing Hashem, without bringing Yeshua into every part of our life, we become crusty and hard. Without His living water, He's known as a living water. But when we cry out to Him, and in those dry times in our life, He is faithful to bring the water, to bring His life to our spirit, to renew us, so that we can be pliable, we can be usable in the way that we're designed to be for His kingdom. And I really have been in a dry time in my life, and even in this dry time, sometimes just there's been hard time, there's been confusion, trying to understand, Hashem has remained faithful, and that is what is just absolutely outstanding, amazing to me. Even though I don't have all the answers, we don't have all the answers, He does. He knows us better than ourselves, and He's not far away. He's waiting, ready to make us that dirt that can be made into beautiful sculpture. So yes, that's all I wanted to say. I hope that you did have a beautiful Sukkot. I know last year I'm pretty sure I made some sharings about what that is. Sukkot, I don't know if I mentioned Simchat Torah, but I didn't do that this year. But if you are new to my channel and you're curious about those biblical feasts, feel free to go back to last year if you can on my videos and find that. Yes, next thing we have to look forward to is Hanukkah. So thank you for listening. Shalom, shalom, blessings to all of you. I love you all very much. Again, thank you for prayers. Thank you to those two who have donated. Such a blessing. Thank you. Shalom, shalom.